When other idols chased charts, Bangchan chose truth. In an industry obsessed with numbers, views, and virality, the leader of Stray Kids has just said something that's shaking the entire K-pop world. And what he said hits deep. He didn't talk about fame. He didn't talk about awards. He talked about music and what it really means to create it in a world that often values popularity more than passion. But wait, what exactly did he mean? Was it a subtle message to the rest of the industry? Or a reflection of a musician who's been walking the fine line between art and fame for years? Stay tuned, because this isn't just about an interview. It's a statement, a raw, honest declaration from one of K-pop's most respected leaders who dared to say what many are too afraid to admit. Before diving into Bangchan's words, we need to talk about why this matters, because Stray Kids are not your typical idol group. From the very beginning, they've been known as a self-producing group. That means, yes, you heard it right, most of their songs are written, composed, and produced by the members themselves, especially by the trio known as Three Racha, Bangchan, Changbin, and Han. They're not just performers, they're creators. They build their world, their sound, and their story from scratch. In an era where so many groups rely on external producers or trends made for TikTok, Stray Kids stand out because they do things their own way. Their songs are loud, experimental, and sometimes even chaotic, but that chaos has power. It's real, it's raw, and it's theirs. From God's Menu to S-Class, every track screams authenticity. And at the heart of it all is Bangchan, a leader whose musical vision has become the backbone of Stray Kids' identity. Recently, Bangchan sat down for an interview with a Korean media outlet, and the conversation turned to the meaning of music and how Stray Kids balance popularity with artistic integrity. His answer went viral within hours. He said, "Music isn't about how high you climb the charts. It's not a tool for popularity. We make music we enjoy, and we hope people enjoy it because it's real, not because it's viral." That single quote exploded across social media. Fans on X, formerly Twitter, were quick to react. Bangchan always speaks facts. This is why Stray Kids are different. Real artist energy, period. And it didn't stop with fans. Musicians, journalists, and even veteran producers started quoting him, calling it a rare voice of honesty in a commercialized era. One comment summarized it perfectly. Bangchan just reminded everyone that music is emotion, not marketing. But that statement, that powerful, doesn't come out of nowhere. It's rooted in years of struggle and determination. Stray Kids were born from a survival show, literally fighting to debut. Every episode tested not only their performance, but also their songwriting and production skills. After debuting, their path wasn't easy. JYP Entertainment, their agency, was known for its safe, radio-friendly sound. Yet Stray Kids broke that pattern completely. Their music was loud, complex, sometimes even too intense for the mainstream. But that was the point. District 9, their debut song, was a statement of rebellion, a sound that said, "We're not here to fit in." Behind that sound was Bangchan, experimenting, producing, and blending electronic, trap, and hip-hop elements that even Western producers would later praise. So when he says, "We make music we enjoy," it's not empty idealism. It's a declaration built on years of fighting for creative freedom in an industry that often prioritizes formula over feeling. What's remarkable is how far his words traveled. Fans from all over the world, America, Brazil, Indonesia, and beyond, immediately made #BangchanSpeaksFacts trend globally. On TikTok, clips of the interview were edited into aesthetic videos with captions like, "This is what real artistry looks like." Bangchan isn't just an idol, he's an inspiration. Even music analysts on YouTube started discussing how Bangchan's statement might represent a turning point in how the public perceives K-pop idols, not as products, but as artists. One viral comment put it simply, "Bangchan just reminded everyone that music should connect, not compete. And that's what fans have always felt with Stray Kids. Their songs don't just entertain, they resonate, because every lyric feels like it's written by someone who understands what it means to struggle, to grow, to be human. Part of what makes this moment so powerful is that it's coming from Bangchan, the heart and leader of Stray Kids. He's not just the frontman, he's the glue that holds the group together. He's a producer, a mentor, and a big brother to the younger members. Fans often call him the emotional anchor of Stray Kids. In his regular live streams, Chan's Room, he opens up about his thoughts, fears, and creative process. He once said, "Sometimes I worry about whether people will like our songs, but then I remind myself, we can't lose who we are." And that's exactly what defines him as a leader. Humility with conviction. Even after global fame, arena tours, dicing wins, and brand deals, Bangchan stays grounded. He still talks about passion, teamwork, and the joy of creating something from the heart. Let's be honest, when Bangchan says music is not a tool for popularity, people start connecting the dots. Because today's K-pop landscape is dominated by trends. Short, catchy hooks made for TikTok, songs designed for quick virality, not longevity. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. But what Bangchan said feels like a quiet challenge to the system. He's not criticizing others. He's redefining what success means. He's saying we can be both popular and authentic. And Stray Kids proved that's possible. Their albums 5-Star and Rockstar topped global charts, not because they followed trends, but because they built their own. It's living proof that authenticity still sells in a world driven by algorithms. The fandom's reaction says it all. Stay, the fans of Stray Kids, felt both proud and emotional after hearing his words. Comments flooded social platforms. He said what most artists can't. Bangchan is the voice of our generation. 3racha made me start my own songs. Others shared personal reflections. This reminded me why I fell in love with K-pop the first place. Because of the music, not the trends. And one viral post simply said, "Bangchan reminds us that music is supposed to heal, not compete." And that sentiment echoed far beyond fandom walls. It touched anyone who's ever loved music for the way it makes them feel. Bangchan also added something deeper during the same interview. He said, "We know not everyone will like our music, but we enjoy it, and that makes it real." That single line captures his entire philosophy. In an industry where pressure to please everyone is constant, he focuses on the joy of creation itself. The late nights in the studio, the failed experiments, the moments of inspiration that strike at 3 a.m. For Bangchan, music isn't a product, it's a process. And that process is reflected in the group's discography. Songs about fear, self-doubt, dreams, and the fight to stay true to yourself. Every track feels like a page from their diary. That's why fans connect. Because even through heavy bass lines and chaotic energy, Stray Kids' music speaks the language of sincerity. Here's the part that makes the story even more impressive. Stray Kids didn't just stay true to their sound. They also succeeded beyond expectations. They've won major awards, performed at global festivals, and sold out stadiums worldwide. They've collaborated with global brands like Tommy Hilfiger and Nescafe, and yet their attitude hasn't changed. In every interview, they highlight teamwork, artistry, and their bond with fans. Never ego, never arrogance. That's why fans call Bangchan not just a leader, but a visionary. He redefines what it means to be an idol. Not someone shaped by a system, but someone who shapes the system itself. Bangchan's words also come at a crucial time. In today's fast-paced digital culture, people are growing tired of manufactured virality and disposable trends. Audiences crave honesty again, and Bangchan's statement hits that nerve perfectly. Western media outlets even picked up his quote, publishing articles with titles like Bangchan of Stray Kids, the idol who chose integrity over virality. But the most beautiful part is this. He never framed himself as better than anyone else. He simply spoke as someone who loves music, who still believes in its power to connect people. And that's what made it so powerful. It was humble, not performative. At the end of the interview, Bangchan was asked one final question. If you could send one message to your fans through your music, what would it be? He smiled and said, "I want them to know that they can create what they love too. Don't be afraid if others don't like it. If it makes you happy, that's enough." That moment said everything, because beyond being a leader, Bangchan is a reminder to dreamers, artists, and fans alike that passion matters more than perfection. Bangchan didn't just make a statement about music, he made a statement about life, about the courage to stay authentic in a world that